train day to read stories to all the kids. Now, quick question. How many of you have heard of this little guy, Thomas the Tank Engine? Raise your hand real quick. Has everybody heard of him?
I heard.
All right. Now, here's a quick question. How old do you think Thomas is?
30?
Yeah, a little older.
100 million?
I don't think he would find that complimentary. Well, believe it or not, the book series that Thomas comes from was written in 1945. And in just 2 days, that'll be the 80th anniversary of that first book coming out. And then 1 year later, he came along in his own book. So to celebrate, I've got the original Thomas stories here that we're all going to read. Now, for anyone who thinks, oh man, he looks a bit old to like Thomas, there up there is me sitting next to him, over in England. I went all the way over there just to say hi to him and all of his friends, because I always have loved trains. If it hadn't been for that blue little tank engine, I wouldn't be here today. Now, since it's the 80th anniversary, how about we go to where it all began with the first stories, called the 3 Railway Engines. Let's see here if we can find it. Yes. All right. So here's our first story, Edward's Day Out. Once upon a time, there was a little engine called Edward, who lived in a shed with 5 other engines. They were all bigger and stronger than Edward and boasted about it. "The driver won't choose you again today," he said. "He wants big, strong engines. Yeah, like us." Edward had not been out for a long time. He began to feel sad. Just then, the driver and fireman came along to start work. The driver looked at Edward. "Would you like to come out today?" "Oh, yes, please," he said. And the fireman lit the fire and made a nice lot of steam. And then the driver pulled the lever, and Edward puffed away. "Beep, beep," he whistled. "Look at me now." The others were very cross at being left behind, and there they all are. Oh, there they are, quite shocked. And there's little Edward puffing away. And away went Edward to go get some coaches. "Be careful," said the coaches. "Don't pop and bang us like the other engines do." So Edward came up to the coaches very, very gently. The shunter fastened the coupling. "Oh, thank you, Edward," said the coaches. "That was kind. We are glad you're taking us out today." And off they ran to the station where the people were waiting. "Beep, beep," whistled Edward. "Get in quickly, please." So the people got in quickly, and Edward waited happily for the guard to blow his whistle and wave his green flag. He waited. And he waited. There was no guard. There was no green flag. "Beep, beep, beep, beep. Where is that guard?" Edward was getting anxious. "Have you seen the guard?" said the driver and fireman. "No, I haven't." So he went to the station master. "Have you seen the guard?" "No, not since last night." Then they asked the porter. "Have you seen the guard?" "Yes, definitely last night," he said. Edward began to get cross. Are we ever going to stop? Just then a little boy shouted, "Here he comes!" And there he ran down the hill with his flags in one hand and his sandwich in the other. There he is. So imagine that, being a little late on a train. Wouldn't be right, wouldn't be right. He ran onto the platform, blew his whistle, jumped into his van, and Edward puffed off. He did have a happy day. All the children waved to him as he went past. He met old friends at all the stations. And he worked so hard that the driver promised to take him out again the next day. "I'm going out again tomorrow," he said to the other engines. "What do you think of that?" But he didn't hear what they thought, for he was so tired and happy that he fell asleep at once. And that's our first story. Now let's go on to the next one. Now, how many of you have known somebody in your life who is... Now, how many of you have known someone in your life who is very big, they're very, very important, and they think they can do everything on their own, but then, when time comes to it, they ask for your help? Would you help them, or would you tell them no? Personally, I would like to help. It's the right thing to do, even if I don't like it. Let's see what Edward does. In this next story, Edward and Gordon. One of the engines in Edward's shed was called Gordon. It was a very big and very proud engine. "You watch me this afternoon, little Edward," he boasted. "I'll rush through with the express, and that'll be a splendid sight for you." Just then his driver pulled the lever. "Goodbye, little Edward," he said as he puffed away. "Look out for me this afternoon." Edward went off too to do some shunting. Edward liked shunting. It was fun playing with trucks. He would come up quietly and give them a pull. Oh. Whatever is happening? Then he'd stop and the silly trucks would go bump into each other. Oh, and they'd cry again. Oh. Edward pushed them until they were running nicely. And then, when they weren't expecting it, he would stop, and one would surely run onto another line. Edward played until there were no more trucks. And then he stopped to rest. Presently, he heard a whistle. Gordon came puffing along very slowly and very crossly. Instead of a line of nice shining coaches, he was pulling a lot of very dirty coal trucks. And there he is. Oh, he looks very, very displeased, doesn't he? Get this cover off here real quick. "A goods train, a goods train, a goods train," he grumbled. "The shame of it. Oh, the shame of it." He went slowly through with the trucks clattering and banging behind him. Edward laughed and went to go find some other trucks. Soon afterwards, a porter came and spoke to his driver. "Gordon can't get up the hill. Will you take Edward to push him, please?" They found Gordon halfway up the hill and very cross. His driver and fireman were talking to him severely. "You're not trying," he told him. "I can't do it," he said. "Noisy trucks hold an engine back so. Now, if they were coaches, clean, sensible things, that come quietly, and that would be different." Edward's driver came up. "We've come to push," he said. "No use at all," said Gordon. "You wait and see." They brought the train back to the bottom of the hill. Edward came behind, ready to push. "Beep, beep. I'm ready," he said. "No good," grumbled Gordon. The guard blew his whistle, and they pulled and pushed as hard as they could. The two engines puffed together. Edward pushed and puffed and pushed and pushed and puffed as ever he could. And almost before he realized this, Gordon found himself at the top of the hill. I've done it! I've done it!" he said. And he ran down the hill and forgot all about poor little Edward pushing from behind. Wait! But he ran so fast he went through 2 stations before his driver could make him stop. Edward had pushed so hard that when he got to the top, he was out of breath. Gordon had run so fast, Edward was left behind. The guard waved and waved, but Edward couldn't catch up. He ran on to the next station, where the driver and fireman said that they were very pleased with him. The fireman gave him a nice long drink of water. The driver said, "I'll get out my paint tomorrow and give you a new fresh cup of blue with red stripes. Now, how do you like that? Then you'll be the smartest engine in the shed." And there he is. He would be the smartest engine in the shed. He's like that. All right, now real quick. I know my audience has shrunk slightly. Do we want to continue doing one more story, or do we want to save it for a little later? Show of hands, do we want to hear another story? Show of hands, do we want to save it for later? I'm doing wonderful. Okay, we'll do one more. This one's one of my favorites. Right there, we have a big green engine. Now, who could that be? Oh, but it's a terrible story. Oh, it's so tragic. It's the sad story of Henry. Once an engine attached to a train was afraid of a few drops of rain. He went into a tunnel and squeaked through its bottom and never came out again. The engine's name was Henry. His driving foreman argued with him, but he wouldn't move. No, no, no. The rain will spoil my lovely green pipe with French stripes, he said. The guard blew his whistle till he had no more breath and waved his flags till his arms ached. But it did no good. Henry just blew steam at him. I'm not going to spoil my lovely green paint and red stripes for you. The passengers all came and argued too, but Henry wouldn't move. Then, Sir Topham Hatt, the director who was on the train, told the guard to get a rope. We will pull you out, he said, but Henry only blew steam at it and made him all the way. They hooked the rope on, and all pulled, except for Sir Topham Hatt. My doctor has forbidden me to pull, he said. They pulled, and they pulled, and they pulled, but still Henry stayed in the tunnel. Then they tried pushing from the other side. 1, 2, 3, push! Push! And they all pushed, all except for Sir Topham Hatt. My doctor has also forbidden me to push, he said. Finally, at last, they got another engine. The guard waved his red flag and stopped it. The 2 engine drivers, the 2 firemen, and the 2 guards all argued with Henry. Look, it has stopped raining, they said. Yes, said Henry, but it'll begin again soon, and then what? So they brought the other engine up, and it pushed and puffed and pushed and puffed and pushed and puffed and pushed and puffed. But Henry still stayed in the tunnel. Finally, they had had enough. We shall take away your rails and brick up the tunnel and leave you here for always and always and always. And so they cut a new tunnel, and now Henry can't get out. And he watches the other trains rushing through the new tunnel. He's very sad because no one will ever see his lovely green paint with red stripes again. But I think he deserved it, don't you? There he is, in the tunnel. Now here's your question. Do you think Henry gets out of the tunnel or no?
There's always one.
I think he does.
Well, we'll read one more story and then we'll call it for the time being. And I think our friend Henry has something to do with it. Our last story is Edward, Gordon, and Henry. Edward and Gordon often went through the tunnel where Henry was shut up. Edward would say, beep, beep, hello, and Gordon would say, boop, boop, so to right. Well, that's a bit mean, don't you think? Poor Henry had no steam to answer. His fire had gone out, and soot and dirt from the tunnel roof had spoiled his lovely red coat, or his lovely green coat with red stripes anyway. He was cold and unhappy, and he wanted to come out and pull trains too. Gordon always pulled the big express. He was very proud of being the only engine strong enough to do it. There were many heavy coaches full of important people like Sir Topham Hatt who had punished Henry. Gordon was seeing how fast he could go. Hurry, 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 he panted. Went the coaches behind him. Gordon could see Henry in the tunnel. In a minute, he thought, I'll at Henry, and then rushed through and into the open again, he said. Closer and closer he came. He was almost when he was in a big cloud of steam and going slower and slower. And his driver finally stopped it. Oh, what has happened to me? He said. I feel so weak. You've burst your safety valve, you great silly engine, he said. You can't pull the train anymore. Oh dear, said Gordon. You were going so nicely too. Oh dear. Oh, there's Henry laughing at me. Gordon made a face and blew smoke at him. Everybody got up and came to see Gordon. Said Sir Topham-Hatt. I never liked these big engines. Something always going wrong. Fetch for another one at once. The guard went to find another one. Then coupled Gordon and ran him out outside and out of the way. The only engine left at the shed was Edward. I'll come and try, he said. No, it's no use, he said. Edward can't pull the train. Edward puffed and pulled and pulled and puffed, but he couldn't move the heavy coaches. Told you so, said Gordon rudely. Why not let Henry try? Yes, said Sir Topham-Hatt. I think I will. Henry, will you please help pull this train? He asked. Yes, said Henry at once. So Gordon's driving fireman left his fire, and the plate layers broke down the wall and put the rails back down in front of him. And Henry puffed out. He was dirty, and his boiler was black, and he was covered in cobwebs. There he is. Oh, doesn't he look all dirty? But better be dirty and working than clean and to do nothing, right? Oh, I'm stiff. Oh, I'm stiff, he said as he came out. You better have a run to ease your joints and find a turntable, said Sir Topham-Hatt kindly. Henry came back feeling much better, and they put him in front. Said Edward. I'm ready. Said Henry. So am I. Pull hard, we'll do it. Pull hard, we'll do it. And they puffed together. The heavy coaches jerked, but began to move, slowly, faster, faster, and faster. We've done it together, we've done it together. We've done it together, we've done it together, said Edward and Henry. Hooray, you've done it! Hooray, you've done it! Hooray, you've done it, said the passengers. All of them were excited. So Topham-Hatt waved out of the window to wave at Edward and Henry. But his hat blew off, or a goat ate it for his teeth. They didn't stop until they came to the big station at the end of the line. The passengers all got out, said thank you. Sir Topham-Hatt promised Henry a new coat of paint. Would you like blue and red? He asked. Yes, please, said Henry. Then I'll be like Edward and Gordon. Edward and Henry went home quietly. On their way, they helped Gordon back to the shed. All three engines are great friends. Henry wasn't pleased when he had his new coat. Wasn't Henry pleased when he had his new coat. He was very proud of it. All the engines are, and he doesn't mind the rain now, because he knows the best way to keep his paint nice is not to run into tunnels, but to actually drive it to rub him down when the day's work is done. Look, there he is. Can you imagine being happy while feeling blue? A bit confusing for me. And with that, that's our first book. So.